Welcome to this week's Q&A. Today's question is from Jason Kent. He writes, "Hi Mark, when it comes to carb up time for a comp day, how should it be done? And how close to comp day should one start, and how does that translate into the action of how much and what carbs to eat? Thanks." So, with a carb up, first things first, I wouldn't introduce any foods that you haven't been eating yet inside of a carb up before a comp. So say for example, a big mistake that people start doing is, they diet really well and they look fantastic and they start eating donuts and then they blow out and they don't look any good on comp day. So I think that's a huge mistake. You want to make sure you test the carbs before you do it before comp day. So if you do decide to say carb up on, let's just say for example, donuts, not that I recommend that, you've actually tried it ahead of time to see how your body reacts with donuts because it might cause you to bloat. Donuts is a bad example. Foods that I like for carb ups, well, all your basic foods like, your rices, I like rice, I like sweet potato, rice cake, and also cereals like Crunchola or Koala Crunch. There's a lot of different cereals that you can get out that are very, very high in, basically sugar or high in carbs really, because that's what it's about. It's about getting as much glycogen inside of the muscle as possible without smoothing over. Now that's an art. Is there an absolute exact number? Well, there's some I suppose, charts or formulas that people go on, which how much body weight you have, how much carbs, and can be figured out like that. In my experience, what I found, it's more about how much the body can get away with, and if I can muscle test the client, I'll muscle test the client to see exactly how much carbs they can have inside of a carb up. If I can't muscle test the client, then it's really a matter of testing and measure. So meaning that I'll get them to do some practice carb ups before a comp, but I'll always undershoot. So if I think they're going to carb up well with 2 days at 4 meals a day, then I'll carb them up for their practice at maybe 3 meals at over 2 days, if that makes sense. So always practice with a couple of meals under and try doing it as a one sitting and try doing it over a couple of days. I know for me personally, I carb up better over a couple of days rather than one sitting and just eating as much as I can. If I eat as much as I can in one sitting or eat as much carbs in one day, then I tend to bloat and I don't look as good as if I do it over 2, even 3 days where I drip feed carbs in and my body slowly starts to fill out. Also on top of that is I'd be looking at what workouts are you doing. Are you still working out, and are the workouts effective at making you fill out? Because it's one thing to eat a whole bunch of carbs, but you also got to get those carbs inside the muscle. So again, to recap, you can use all the foods that you're probably already eating, like rice, potatoes, as well as the rice cakes, Crunchola, or higher carb cereals are great picks for me, as well as things like honey, maple syrup you can also use. But that's the thing with carb ups. Not everyone is going to respond the same well to every food. There are some things that I would do with terms of supplementation. So berberine, for example, Pollock can also sell a product called Gluco-Reg. There's also other alternatives like Gluco-Log, I believe one of them is. I've never used Gluco-Log, but Reese Adams, a master trainer here at Enterprise Fitness, uses Gluco-Log. There's a few others on the market, but berberine is a great one, which across the board helps regulate blood glucose. So you could look at that one as well. Chromium, but obviously you just don't want to be taking too much chromium because that can cause problems as well. But things are going to help utilize carbohydrate and get it inside the muscle, beneficial at time of carving up. So again, along with the workout. So I hope that helps. Again, I don't have an exact formula because everyone is so different, and how hard people work out is also somewhat a depending factor of how much carbs you can give them, along with muscle mass. So, and training age is huge. So hope this video helps. See you on the next one. Till then, train hard, supplement smart, and eat well.